Morning, welcome back to Cactus Sailing. So we're leaving at 4 AM in the dark. We're leaving Poole, and I'm trying to navigate this very dark channel. So that's fun. So catch up with us a bit when I'm a bit less stressed.
Why not consider being one of our patrons? And don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Morning everyone. So Kenny is currently at the helm. It's 3:40 in the morning. We're just leaving Poole, hopefully on the way to Gosport, but we need to hit the Needles in the Solent. What time's select tide? About 4 o'clock, half 4.
Okay, so I'm going to share with you our passage plan for today, and again, if you want to play along, then I'll just give you a bit of key information at the start, and if you don't want to play along, then skip to the number I'm just going to tell you down there, and that will get straight to our adventure. So today we want to be leaving Poole, and we want to go towards Yarmouth, and the date today is the 2nd of August, and basically we want to get through the Needles. That's basically the information you need to find out a suitable time and when we need to leave. I mean, there's probably 2 right answers to this, but I want to get there earlier rather than later, so that's your clue. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave Poole around 3 AM, I think it is what we calculated it, and we'll show you how we've done that. So we're up here in Lake Yard Marina, which is roughly up here somewhere, I think it is, and we want to go up to Yarmouth. Now, if we look at the tides and see what the tide are doing, remember we need to look at Dover because this is where our tidal atlas is. Everything's based on high water Dover. So if we look for a high water on the 2nd, we've got a high water at 10:12. Again, we're in summertime, so we just need to add an hour onto that, so we're at 11:12. I'm not really too fussed about these 12 minutes. I mean, I know if you're doing your exam, then you might want to be fussed about those 12 minutes, but for practical passage planning purposes, then I'm just going to forget those 12 minutes. So 11 o'clock is high water Dover, and we want to be looking at this one really, because this gives us direction of Poole, and it also gives us the entrance to the Needles. So this is at 11 o'clock, so then we have to just go back the hours and figure out when we want to leave, because we want to have the tide going into the Needles, to be honest. And yeah, so we've got 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then we have to go back to the other side. 4 and 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock is when I want to be leaving. Going to be leaving Poole here, and the reason, yes, we've got a little bit of tide against us, but as the hours go along, then we're going to start having tide coming with us, and then by the time we get to the Needles, then we're going to have a decent amount of tide to push us through the Needles. So that's why we're going to be leaving at 3 AM. So hazards along the way is basically Needles channels and the Shingles Bank. 2 options here. You could either go through the North Channel, which is along here, or you can just go through the Needles. This channel here, depending on what tide you've got, depends on what depth you've got here, and there is a small boats channel which you can take along here, providing you've got enough water under you and you've got enough water under your keel. But the problem you'll find there is you'll end up going this way to then go kind of that way if you're going through the Needles, or then to skirt around this headland and to get in the North Channel as well. So by time you've calculated what water you've got there, I mean, we was roughly on the edge there if we wanted to leave out of the small boats channel. So we wanted to get out of the main swash channel, which means we would leave the channel roughly around here, just before the channel markers, because there's enough water here, and then which means we'd end up having to come back into the coast to come back out for the North Channel anyway, so we may as well take the Needles. Weather forecast is only a force 3 to 4 today, so that's not going to be a showstopper for us using the Needles channels. So we're going to leave the Poole board channel and then basically head straight up to roughly around this marker here, the southwest shingles marker, and then basically take the Needles channel all the way up until we see Yarmouth, pretty much, once we've got around Fort Albert and Hurst Castle. So that's the plan, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning.
These are the lights from the ferry terminal at Poole, shining out into the channel, making it difficult to see the channel markers, especially from a distance, as it really messes with your night vision. It's something to watch out for, especially if this is your first time in Poole. Leaving Poole now, finally. We've got a fight bit of tide coming in here, and then we've got the tide taking us east. So I'm hoping the further we get out of this mouth of here, and it should hold us somewhat to the tide. It's slowing us down quite a bit at the minute. Need to get a move on. We'll get there.
I've got a song, you hum along, and we have fun when we're moving to the beat. This kind of song makes you belong to something greater, something that makes you wanna sing. And it gets you in a dancing flow, and moving gets so easy, feeling easy to me. And it makes you kicking up what's slow, and living gets so easy, easy.
motoring along, but the wind was pretty much non-existent. I tried my best to keep the mainsail from flapping, and finally got it to behave in the end.
We're just going through the Needles. The tide's with us. It's a bit choppy.
You were tall, I looked up. From where I sat, wished I would've dressed up. Your first line, won't forget. So is it true, no one's taking you yet? I remember people staring as we stepped outside. They had only one goal, give me all for your mind. I was no good, they said. You could do much better, but you gave them one middle finger and the door shut. 'Cause I know we are real as can be. Although we stick to each other, we're free. We still dream of what we could be. You still amaze me. Us lasting longer than them, standing stronger than them, let me think we are crazy. 'Cause I know we are real as can be. You still amaze me. Now that we've come so far, they're going nuts about how happy we are. See the bond that we made. It all seems real now that I'm not afraid. And we really got them. Yeah, we sure did ride it out, 'cause we have each other.
As we passed through the Needles, the wind picked up slightly, meaning we could actually get the canoe out and turn the engine off. With the tide coming from behind us, we kept a consistent 7.5 knots right up until we saw Yarmouth. It was still really early and we had been up since 3 AM, so we decided to grab a mooring ball and have some breakfast. I'm still amazed how the kids managed to sleep through the passage, even with the engine on.
We still dream of what we could be. You still amaze me. Us lasting longer than them, standing stronger than them, let me think we are crazy. 'Cause I know we are real as can be. You still amaze me. You still amaze me. You still amaze me.
What are we doing? Just making movements. Why is that?
Because they did vegan ice cream. I'm not a vegan, just a dairy free. And they did gluten-free cones.
Look at that. You get a whole massive scoop in it.
Excited.
Good old spice in that.
Most places in Yarmouth were still taking advance bookings only, meaning that most of the restaurants were fully booked. So we decided to eat on board, and Craig is cooking us a chilli. We had a game of Monopoly, which you'll see in a moment, but I'm sure Craig was cheating, so watch out to see if he was dipping into the bank.
Right, so we're in the kitchen, and what is it? What is it? It does?
I don't know.
You get an onion and you chuck it in the pan, and right, and then
Get out of it!
How does it feel making me bankrupt?
Yeah! It's not very often that you lose.
I know.
Quite a nice we do.
Everything else is everywhere, look.
Inside I'm crying.